morning to all for the wonderful gathering of STEM 12.0, and this is a consecutive program to have an healthy relationship between the faculty and the students that we have been started this particular program in the pandemic situation, and we have been running successfully for the every month. We have come with two kinds of different kinds of technology aspects to be shared with the students as well as the faculty to enrich in this pandemic situation. So, good morning to all for gathering in this STEM 12.0. So in today's session, we have two kinds of topics we have chosen to identify to share with the students as well as the faculty. So one is the golden ratio and another one is the Node.js. So two topics will have some basic relationship where Node.js will be talk about the backend of the platform, which is basically related to the web development applications, and as well as how the backend applications can able to integrate it with the different kinds of an API. So that's what Node.js will be concentrated. So it's mostly related on the development of the websites, which what we called as a responsive weblet or UX designs, so on. In the front end, when you talk about the golden ratio, so golden ratio is one of the beautiful topic that ever we want to investigate this particular topic, because when I go through this particular topic, I get a lot of informations related to how that we are integrated with the golden ratio, not today or tomorrow or in future, in past. So it's binding with all our activities, is binding with all our technologies. So golden ratio is one of the main topic in what way we can able to go for investigation. For example, we are going for web development when you go for Node.js as a backend development. So we can able to identify what way the golden ratio can able to available to design the website. So the ratio represents some kind of words as a we can able to identify there is some kind of mathematical terms is going to be backend of the ratio, because the term ratio we can able to identify for that. And what is that golden? So it gives some kind of magic number for us. That magic number will be used in different kinds of aspects and different kinds of various ways, and where we can see the golden ratios in the plants or in the humans or in the good architecture, in the mathematics and in the art and paintings and in the animals. So when you take about the golden ratio, it's available to the human. It's been available to the integrated of the human parts. So whatever the main parts of the humans is been available with the golden ratio, the value which has been available over there. And what is the main objective of the golden ratio when you talk about specific the ratio? So it's giving some of the pleasing to our eyes when you are taking some kind of photos. For example, when I viewing a movie or when I viewing any kind of a photos in an websites or in any kind of a visualization, maybe in the TV or in the cinema, that particular moment of time, there is a vision of concentration to be made it with some kind of photographics or some kind of movies. So we will make it with one particular point we call it as a point of interaction. So the point of interaction, how the human point of interaction will be made at, whether the human point of interaction to the movie or an image to be made at the left hand side or the right hand side or the middle or the top left. So this golden ratio is giving the idea, this golden ratio giving the important note where the human eyes is go for the vision, especially the concentration on the image as well as the movie. So in which particular area, if you are placing the image, then the concentration of the human brain will integrate with the vision, will identify that particular image, so that the focus of the image will be identified more, so that the likes, whatever the human the face the particular image or in any kind of a movie will be taken out. So this golden ratio is a mathematical number, which what we will call it as an pi, or we will call it as an divine ratio. And it is the one of the Fibonacci ratio. It is also to be called as a Fibonacci ratio, as we know that the Fibonacci series, different kinds of numbers that we will take it for the Fibonacci series, which what we will call it as in the series of numbers, where a number is an addition of the last two numbers. So these are all the different kinds of magics which has been available at the back end of the golden ratio. So in today's session, we will see about how the golden ratios is being available to the technological level, as well as how the golden ratio is being integrated with our basic system, and how the golden ratio is being available around us, as in the term of an architecture, as in the term of an paintings, or in the mathematical derivations, or in the terms of humans, plants, and so on. Maybe, for example, if you take about a good architecture like an Mona Lisa, or it may be even available in the plants like in seed heads, and it go for and flower petals and pine cones actually, and tree branches. When you take about human faces, there are different kinds of faces that we will see in the presentation, how the calculation of the human faces will be made it. And we have one beautiful article related to the human faces, like an analysis whether the Indian peoples are being having and beautiful faces related to the golden ratio, or Chinese peoples having the related to the ratio what we are going to talk now. So it's giving an investigation which kind of a people as a population in Asian and African countries, those who are having a beautiful faces with the name of a golden ratio. So we will see all this kind of aspects in the following presentation. So let I introduce myself. I'm Dr. Jyotish Kumar, Head and Department of Computer Science and convener for the program. So let me talk about a simple tech talk on the golden ratio. So before going for seeing the golden ratio, let I have some kind of background work. Okay, so this background work is actually the startup why we want to have a golden ratio. So there is an question mark is available in 12,000. That is in the year of 12,000. There is an scenario which has been taken, which is known as a rabbit problem. So here you can see about how the rabbit problems has been divided. How a pair of a rabbit produce baby rabbits and produce more next generation rabbits and so on and so forth, and leading to massive growth of rabbits. And how some disease strikes on the rabbit population, resulting in declining of an rabbit population at most the rabbit population growing on. So we want to calculate the growth as well as decay the pattern. So what they come to say, so in the sense, we want to calculate when the breed is being taken in the rabbit, especially, we want to calculate by every year how many the pairs of rabbits can able to produce. So this is the calculation which has been made with the background of the numbers, which what we called as a magic number with the golden ratio, and the number to be the ratio we will call it as a Fibonacci ratio or a Fibonacci number. So you can see the diagrammatical representation at the right hand side that the number of pairs is being increasing in what way when every month. So the first month will be breed, second month will be the production. So like that it goes off. So they are asking about after 5 years what is a number of growth the rabbits will have, or what is the decay of rabbits will have. This is a calculation which is background of this particular problem which we what called as a golden ratio. So this is a calculation that the number of pairs will be like this, and every month the pairs will be make it like this: 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, and so on. Okay. So the first month it will be taken for one pair, the second month will be taken for the two pairs, and like that it goes off. So you can see that the numbers which is having over here, which is having some kind of an precedings numbers, like what you know about the Fibonacci series, that the numbers where the number in the addition to the last two numbers, that you can see it in this particular scenario. So this is the background of the golden ratio, why we specifically go for the golden ratio. This is one of the basic scenario that I given over here. Not only this particular scenario, we have an honeybee. So you can see about an honeybee, the pentagon or the shape what the honeybee is been holding over there. So its particular calculations about the production of an bee or the production of honeys, that is also the to be coming under the part of a Fibonacci series. So it's not today the development is made it, or it's been the top, it's been made it year of year before this is being started over, and the origin is being started with the problem of an rabbit's problem to know about the growth or decay of the patterns. So this is the background work which I identified why specifically we want to go for golden ratio with the name of Fibonacci series. So let me go for the definition. What is the main objective of the golden ratio? So in mathematics, we will call it as the two quantities are in the golden ratio if there is ratio is same as the ratio of their sum to the larger of the two quantities. So that you can see it at the left hand side, the diagrammatical representation to be available. So initially we started with as a square. The square is being formed as a rectangle with the name of an a plus b divided by a, which what we called as a pi value. And this pi value will be taken with the name of a quadratic equation that 1 plus root of 5 by 2 will be called as an 1.618 and so on. And there is another name is also given for the golden ratio, which what we called as an irrational numbers, that the fractions it been not counting, it's been goes on. So that 1.618 is the magic number of the golden ratio, which what we will quote as in this number ratio, whichever the constructions of an planets or the humans, architecture, paints, everything is available with this particular numbers. And definitely that has been giving a good focal, and as well as that is a good architecture is going to be considered because of the point to be considered as in the magic number 1.618. So this is the general way where you can able to see about the definition of the golden ratio. I will also give some kind of examples for you how the calculation is being made on this. So you can see the next line that the golden rectangle will be a longer side of a and short b of an b, and adjacent to the square with sides to the length of a produce a similar golden rectangle with the long side of an a plus b and short side of an a. So this is the way where the formation is being made. It by the forthcoming slides we will tell you how this is being formed. So this is the way that the golden ratio is being available, that we will call it as an 1:1.6 ratio. So what is that 1:1.6 ratio? So I can't able to understand that what is that 1.6. It can't be, it can be an 1.5, or it can be an 1.2, or it may be an any other ratio. Why specifically? There is a relationship which is embedded between the golden ratio and Fibonacci series. So that 1.618 is not derived in the name way. It's been derived with the support of the Fibonacci series, that what we will call it as the name which we called as a last, the addition of last two numbers. So when you take it about the last of two numbers, like we will call it as an 1 by 1 or 2 by 1, then we will go for 3 by 2, then we go for an 5 by 3, then we go for an 8 by 5. So when you dividing the subsequent numbers, whatever we made it, at one particular point we will get a the point of interaction which what we will call it as a magic number. The golden ratio 1.6 will be derived. So after that, whatever the number, the subsequent numbers, that the addition of last two numbers, when you are dividing that particular number, for example, when you are dividing by 8 by 5, and subsequently when you are going for 13 by 8, then again you go for 21 by the subsequent number 13, then we go for 34 by 21. So when you divide the numbers, then the particular topic we will get it the magic number known as 1.618. So this is what we have get a relationship to be made it. And you can see there is one spiral is being available over here. This spiral is the one which is being made at about I think one particular point when I talk about the golden ratio, that it is being related to human. So when I coming for the next slides, and the next slides to be, you can understand why specifically I am calling with the name of an golden ratio is being integrated with the human parts actually. So this is a general representation where you can see about in what way it has been identified with the name of an a plus b, which what we called as an 1:1.618 ratio actually. So this is the where the golden ratio is being available with the human aspects. How the particular point you can see at the left hand side, the golden ratio, the architecture as a basic architecture which is being available, the design of golden ratios you can see in the human body as like what we see about our ears to be available. So that is also the good example how the golden ratio has been integrated with the human parts actually. So this is what that the 1.6 ratio has been formed, that what I just told about the point to be called as an, that the subsequent numbers or the last two addition of numbers we will add it. So that's why I just told, when you divide 13 by 8, when you divide 21 by 13, when you divide 34 by 21, when you divide 55 by 34, and so on, whatever it may be, you will get that fractional parts numbers to be known as an 1.6 actually. Okay, so we will take 1:1.6 ratio. This is the way that the golden ratio is being formed. Okay, and you can see at the right hand side there will be some animated images will giving about the origin where the sequence of Fibonacci is being started and why that 1.68 is being identified. That you can see the year of 12,002, it was the first introduction the Western world with the bone of Liber. So that is the book which talk about the rabbit problem, and later you can see about how the different kinds of an origin which has been made, and that may be an snail shells. You can see about the snail shells, or it may be an a petals of an flowers, or it may be the seeds of the flowers, or it may be so these are all the different kinds of representation why the magic number 1.68 is being derived. So now you can understand how the magic number 1.618 is being derived with the name of an Fibonacci series. Okay, so this is the construction of how the golden ratios are identified, how the golden ratios are derived. So very simple thing is you just draw one square. Okay, so once you divide that square, which take the two precisely equal rectangles. So when you draw a square and divide it equally, then you will get a two rectangles. So this is a startup how the constructions of the golden ratio has been identified. Once if you have been divided into equal the parts, which what we called as an two precisely equal rectangles, then you can see about one kind of an arc you can able to take it in the diagonal. So that is, take the diagonal of the rectangle as a radius to construct a circle to touch the next side of the square. So you can see about this particular angle, the angle you can see at the first one, this particular angle, which is coming under the part of root of 5 divided by 2. So then extend the base to the square so that it touches the circle. So you can see that it will touch the particular circle, that the arc to be made. So this particular ratio, that is what we will call it as an 1.618 ratio, that you can see it over here. So when we complete the shape to the rectangle, okay, we will realize that the rectangle fits the optimum ratio of the golden, that what we will take it as a first part to be A and second part to be the B, and totally we will take it the part to be S and C. So that's what the ratio it's been made over here. The length of the rectangle C divided by the base of the length of the square A equals to the golden ratio, which you can see it about C by A or A by B. The point, it will be coming with the value of a magic number, which what we called as an 1.618. So this is the ratio how we can able to take the construction for the points. For example, I will give you some kind of an presentation with the some proof. So here you can see about here, this is a general example that you can see it over here. For example, I am drawing a single line. I want to know how to form the golden ratio for the single line, or how to form the golden ratio. So very simple thing is, if you are drawing the golden ratio for the 30, for example, that you are taking the 30 centimeters of a line, I want to know what is the golden ratio for this particular one. So what we want to make it very simple calculation is, if you divide that particular number with the value, the 1.618, then we'll get the magic number of 18.54. Then that number will be taken and the balance will be taken for the given number. For example, I'm giving 100. Okay, so when I giving 100, it will tell you that 61.8 divided by 38.2, we get the magic number of 1.618. At the same time, this is what we will call it as an AB, and next one will be called as an A plus B divided by A. So you can see the formula when I've been taken the presentation as the definition of the formula, A by B and as well as A plus B. So A plus B is actually 100. So A plus B divided by A, that is also given. So this is what we are writing the formula to be called as an A by B, can also be written as A plus B divided by A, will be called as a pi value, because 1.618 will be also called as an pi, or we called as a divine ratio, or a golden ratio, or a Fibonacci ratio. So this is what to be made over here. So when I take it this particular one, this is the golden ratio. Okay, so this is a golden ratio where we can see 100 and followed by we can see about 61.8 to be available in the length as well as the width to be calculated. So you can also take it in the landscape. So when you take it in the landscape, you can see this is what the golden ratio that you take it, because when you take it in the golden ratio in the portrait, then we want to multiply with the value. So you can see that this is where it is being formed. So when again I'm being forming in the sense, again I want to take it the value. Again when I go for, so this formation of values, when it goes off one by one, then automatically what happen, you will get that Fibonacci series spiral. Okay, so it's only the single rectangle which has been made it with the formulation of golden ratio. When I repeating the same thing with the different value, when I'm repeating the same values, that then particular moment of time, again there will be one rectangle will be formed here, that is in golden ratio. Again there will be one golden ratio will be formed and one golden ratio. So like that the formation will be made it, and so on, it goes off actually. So this is a general example how the golden ratios are identified, that you can see about the formula which has been made it over A by B equal to A plus B by A. That's what it has been happen over here. A by B, which is what 16.8 divided by 13.8 for the given value, which is also to be taken with the name of A plus B divided by A, that is 100 divided by 61.8, we will call it as an 1.618, which what we call the name called as an pi or a divine ratio. So this is the general way how we are able to identify the golden ratios to be measured. Here you can see about how the golden ratios is going to be given in the architecture in the Greek, the particular you can see the olden structures, how the values are being identified, how the values and as well as the structures has been made with the name of a golden ratio actually. Okay, so now I go to the presentation. So this is the way where the golden ratio is being identified. Okay, and what are the different kinds of representation that I can given for the golden ratio? So that what I already told, the golden ratio can also be called as a divine proportion. or it will be called as a mean ratio, or it may be a mean of pi, or it may be a golden cut, or it may be a golden proposition. So all these are the different types of names, like in divine ratio, Fibonacci ratio, or golden ratio, pi. So these are the different names of representation that we can given for the golden ratio. So where the golden ratio is available, let me talk about the India. So where the golden ratio is actually available. Okay, when I especially talk about the architecture. So you can see about the two examples which I given over in the that is our the world famous, the Taj Mahal, actually the wonders of the world. And as well as the right hand side, you can see about the Tirumala, the statue of the golden ratio. That particular architecture, that formation is also in the name of an golden ratio. Okay, so this is one two examples how the architectures are made. So the question mark is why the architectures are going to be adapted with the golden ratio. Very simple example, or a simple thing I want to make it to be understandable by everyone, that the focus, when you are seeing an image or when you are seeing a particular point, how you are concentrating on particular. For example, I've been standing in front of an image. Okay, whether where my focus will be goes off, because my visions is being surrounded to go everywhere to the images, but where my concentration of an image, the focal image to be made it more concentration, that is a very important point. So if that want to be made it, because I want, for example, I want to make that the point where I want to see it, that is when I asking see after seeing image, which particular area that you would be like more, then you tell sir that I just like this particular area. So how we can able to identify that? So that 1.618, when you are when you draw the architecture with the ratio of an 1.618, that particular moment of time, then that particular moment of time you can able to identify that the focus of an that particular image will be identified very clearly actually. So this is the one where we can able to identify that the golden ratio is why it has been so important over there. Okay, why it has been so important to be carried out in that particular situation. Okay, so this is the one why golden ratio has been more important over here. Okay, so this is a one that you can able to identify. The next one is you can see about how the golden ratios are imparted in Google actually. So the golden ratios are important in Google. Okay, so for example, you can see about how the logos are being designed. Okay, so now you can see about the golden ratio that you've been identified over here. Okay, so the 1 minute I given a time for you, you go through this particular slide. Okay, then I will ask a question on this particular golden ratio. So when you take this particular slide, you can see about how the letters are being identified with the name of Google. That when you draw the left hand side, you can see the gap, how the gap is being made it, that it is 1 point as well as on 1.68. So that is what the ratio 1 is to 1.168. So this is a ratio which has been identified with the logo also. So you can see about the right hand side, the G. Okay, so this is the landscape, the derivation which has been made it on the Google. Okay, and as well as to the even the simple microphone which has been made in the text in the area of a text box area. So that particular also to be available over here. So this is another good example why Google has been especially following the golden ratio, in the sense when you take about different kinds of a dimension, especially in the name of an whether you are viewing the particular logo maybe in the mobile, or maybe in the tab, or be in the system, or if you are going to the wide vision of an any kind of a screen, that the nature of the logo will not be changed. So if the nature of the logo will not be changed, then the situation that the Google has been taking over the golden ratio as one of the protocol, or is taking one of the idea to design for the logo. So you can understand that all the logos, especially the multinational companies logos, to be identified, that the vision as well as the center of focus to be made it to on the particular logo will be made it with the name of a golden ratio. So another good example I can given for golden ratio to the construction of a logo. So I will tell you some of the problem. For example, I just downloaded one particular software which is known as an PyMatrix 1.618 Pro version. So when I take it this Pro version, actually this is a one where we can able to construct the that is a golden ratio values. Okay, so you can see about this particular value I've been forming over here. Okay, so you can see about in what way this golden ratio has been adapted over here. Okay, so in the same way, this you can, once if you construct this, then you can draw the design of the logo, or you can able to take it in the way where you want to make your for example, you want to design your own logo. So that particular moment of time, then I will ask a question whether whether the logo has been satisfying the golden ratio or not. Okay, why specifically I've been asking that particular name, why it has been satisfying the golden ratio, in the sense because it's been comfort to any kind of a situation, especially in the visual. Okay, so that is what the main objective, why most of the companies and most of the architectures and most of the paintings are being related to the golden ratio actually. So this is one example that you can able to try it with your logo, or you can try it with your fonts, styles, everything actually with the name of this. So you can, this is one of the basic software that is downloadable with a 32-bit processor also. So you can try this PyMatrix. The name is known as an PyMatrix. Basic version is available and the Pro version is available. Better you can go for Pro version, which is known as an PyMatrix 1.618. That is a magic number. Okay, so you can see that the magic number will be available at the area. Okay, you can see that the aspect ratios and as well as orientation. Okay, when you take it about the aspect ratio, you can see different kinds of aspect ratio. Out of that, you can see 1:pi, 1:1, a digital 4:3, or a 16:9 ratio. And so within that, you can see 1:pi ratio. So 1:pi ratio, which is a one, which what we are talking about the golden ratio, which has been adapted over here. Okay, so this is the one good example I can given for you that related to golden ratio, uh, why we specifically needed over here. Okay, so when you are free, you can try for this PyMatrix. So this is another one magic behind the golden ratio, how the formation of the golden ratio has been available. So till now, what you have been identified that the golden ratio has been in the form of a rectangle, and the construction of from the square, it has been taken to the different rectangles with the value of a ratio 1:1.618. But not only in that particular dimension. So golden ratio will be in the form of the triangle. The golden ratio will be in the form of rectangle. The golden ratio will be in the form of circles. Okay, and the golden ratio will be in the form of spirals. Okay, so when I talk about the circle, so this is a good example that what is the gap between each and every the calculation which is being made over here. Okay, so you can see about here, look at the physical area inside the loco maintained by 3 golden spaces to be available. So that is the G, which is being available with an 80 pixels of radius, that we can able to see about what is 80 and what is 50 and what is that. Basically, I will ask you about that question named as Fibonacci series. So simply take it about 358. Now you know what is the 358. That is 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, and goes off with the 34 and so on. So that is the calculation behind the name known as Fibonacci series. So this 80, 50, 50, 30, you can calculate it, or you can weave as 3558, which is the representation of a Fibonacci series. So this is where the calculation is being made, in what way it has been identified. Said you can able to make it the golden ratio calculation, that 80 divided by 1.618, then approximately we'll get the 50. So the next value which has been taken as in 50, the gap between the pixel radius as well as the upper part of the G, which is the ratio, will be called as in 30. So this is where the construction of an Google is being identified. You can see how the investigation of the Google ratio is being made. It's not simply designed with Photoshops or the design, but you can see at the background of any kind of a logo, especially the Google, how the calculations are being identified when you are constructing the logos actually. So this is another good example that I can give it over how the golden ratios are adapted to the logo, especially the calculations which they made it with the name of an Fibonacci series, and how the calculations are made it actually. So initially started with the Google, radius of an 80, and they want to divide it with the magic number, and whatever the value that is being available, that value will be taken for the next level. Okay, so like whatever we done it in the previous example, if I given 100, that 61.8 will be taken as one particular value, and 32.8 will be taken as another value, which is a golden ratio to be taken. So this is another example that you can able to take it for a golden ratio. And another one important aspect, how the golden ratios are being related to the human body. So you can see at the right hand side, your heartbeat is also the golden ratio. The heartbeat, whatever you are getting, and every moment of a minute, every second, that the golden ratio has been available in your heartbeat actually. So this is the example I can give it over here. And especially in golden ratio, where and all the golden ratios are available, it is available with your eyes, it is available with your teeth, it's available in your forearm, it is available especially in your DNA, it's available in your foot, it is available in your uterus, it is available in your fingers and lungs and so on. So see how the golden ratios are adapted, how the golden ratios are inbuilt in our human body actually. And especially the heartbeat, every seconds we are counting the golden ratio. That is the beauty of the golden ratio. So you can see about in what way the golden ratio has been adapted to the previous slides. It's told about the hands, or it may be the faces, that you can see how the calculations are made. Look at your hand. Okay, two hands at each, which having a 5 fingers, each of which has 3 parts separated by 2 knuckles. So that measurement is also to be in golden ratio. And your arms, when you take it about your arms, from the arms to the tip of your finger, from the tip of finger to the what is that, elbow. So that particular ratio will be also to be with the name of an a golden ratio. Even if you take about the face, the length of the face will be divided by the wideness of the face. So for example, the length of the face divided by the width of the face. For example, I want to know whether my face is being related to golden ratio. Let me want, if you want, you can do that calculation. Very simple. You can identify what is your length of the face, then identify what is your width of the face. So identify length of the face to be calculated as an A, and the width of the face to be calculated as B. So A by B, check it out, what is your number. If you are getting over the number related to 1.618, or at least near to the 1.618, I will tell you that your face is golden ratio. I think you can understand what I've been selling. So take your face, take a scale of a 30 centimeter and make your length of your face and as well as your width of your face. So length of your face will be taken as an A and width of your face will be taken as a B. Then take it as A by B equal to 1.618. So most of the time we will not get the approximated number of an 1.618. We will have some kind of demos that there we can able to understand how the values are arrived. But anywhere near to the values will be given the good one, that whether your matching of your face is being related to golden ratio or not. And this is another one important way. You can see the right hand side, the fetus. The fetus is to be constructed in the norm of golden ratio. The born of a baby, of the fetus, what you can see it over here. So that particular ratio is also the structural of a golden ratio. You can see it over there. And the left hand side, how the golden ratios are being measured with the name of an arm, okay, or with your particular hands. Actually, you can see about how the numbers are being identified. At the bottom you can see 2, the levels will be 2, 3, 5, 8, which is a Fibonacci serial. It goes on. And even you can see at the how the calculations are made by using the left hand of your human hands, which is taken as a length of A plus B, okay, and length of A, which is we getting 1.6. The same thing you can get it, length of A divided by length of B, or length of B divided by length of C, we getting that magic number of 1.6. So that is why they are telling that human body is also been having the golden ratio, starting from your seconds to second, the heartbeat that you are counting over here. And golden ratio is also available in DNA. So how these calculations are made? Why specifically I am telling that golden ratio is also available in DNA? So I am giving the proof for you. DNA consists of 2 spirals and molecules. Between 2 spirals lengths, there are 34 angstroms and its width is 24 angstroms. So when you divide by 34 by 21, we are not near to 1.618, but I given over there, but definitely the value will be near to the golden ratio. So that is why they are also making that the golden ratio is also being adapted in the DNA actually. And 21 and 34 are the Fibonacci series that we know that actually. And where the golden ratios is everywhere. It been available in architecture, it is available in building architectures, it is available in art and painting, like whatever I just told about the Mona Lisa paintings, okay, and are the different Greek architecture which has been made in the past, and in photographics, and in the space, the galaxy. The very important point we call as in galaxy. So the galaxy is also the architecture, the design, the focus of an architecture of the space, that what you are seeing, the galaxy, is also to be as a golden ratio. So see how the golden ratios has been around us. And when I talk about the golden ratio in design, already I told about the Google. Okay, so every day we are seeing about an in TV, the National Geographical channel, that you can see the logo of the National Geographical channel. That is also the golden ratio. So you can see that A by B. Okay, so that A by B is also the one of the magic number which has been available over here. That A by B, whatever the value which has been taken over here, so that value will also be taken to be as a golden ratio. And Toyota, you can see the Toyota logo, so that logo will also be fittable to the golden ratio. Because why this kind of specifically the golden ratio has been adapted to the this kind of numbers, in the sense that is what I just told, how we can able to make the focus of our vision. It's everything related to the focus of our vision. When you saw an image, how the interaction of images to be made, that has been made only with the background of this formula, which is an 1.6 and V, which is taken by an A plus B divided by A, or A by B. So you can see how the designing of logos, where also the golden ratio has been adapted with the name of National Geographical channels logo, as well as a Toyota and so on. Even in Twitter, that what is the twit, the icon, even that is also to be markedly related to the golden ratio. So one thing I want to clear over, that the golden ratio is the meaning that 1.618, but every architecture or every designs, it's not mean that it is been completely, it has been 1.618, but it has been near to that value. That 1.618 will be near to that particular value. That is very important. So here you can see how the constructions of magics of golden ratio has been made. So very simply, I will give an you. First, you draw a line, okay, and make it as an 1:1 ratio. That you can see it's at the first one. Then take it as a magic number that you want to make it as a 1:1.6. So when I want to convert it as an 1:1 point, so take it this particular number. So you draw that value. When you draw this particular value with the name of an 1:1.6, then that will be become as a golden ratio. Again, take that particular value, again divide that particular value, again take it to 1:1.6 ratio. So like that, you can able to form it over like this. At last, you can see about the golden spiral which is being made over here. Okay, so this is what how the golden ratio architecture has been identified. And one thing to be very clear, the golden ratio, the representation is a general representation, this particular one, but there are golden ratio to be in the name of circles. Like you can see it in the Google radius, what I given over 80 radius divided by the 50, the radius which is taken into 1.618. So the golden ratio is not only available in this particular form, the golden ratio is also available in the triangle, which what we call as a pyramid. Already we know about the pyramid, the world, the famous pyramid. So that is also the construction of a golden ratio, which has been available in the form of a triangle. So the golden ratio is also the representation in the form of triangle, as well as in the circle, as well as what you are seeing now. And this is a very simple thing, how the calculations to be made, the 7 ratios for the beauty calculations. So how the calculation is being made when I given an any human face, how I can able to calculate the human face is being near to the golden ratio or not actually. So this is where we want to calculate from the top of the head, that what we call as an 1, to the chin, that is the last end of your face, and which is divided by your width of the head, which is called as an 10 to 1. So what is the calculation, that the value, that value should be near to the 1.618. Then the same way, you can see 7 ratios are the calculation which is being made on the beauty calculation, how the human face can able to be fitted with the calculation of a golden ratio. Okay, so the next one, top of the head to the purple, okay, and purple to the lip, nose tip to the chin, or divided by lips to the chin, nose tip to the chin, and as well as purple to the nose tip. So like that, there are 7 ratios is been identified, that I can given what are all the different kinds of faces that the golden ratio can able to identify, because the humans are available in Asian and African countries. So there are different kinds of deductible faces are available: diamond faces, pyramid faces, square faces, triangle faces, rectangle faces, round faces, and oval faces. So these are all the different kinds of faces that has been available with the name of a golden ratio. So you can see about how the calculations are made. You can see the first image. The following measurements are also taken into account, that from the forehead hairline to the spot between the eyes, from the spot between the eyes to the bottom of the nose, from the tip of the nose to the bottom of the chin. If all the numbers are equal, then the person can be considered as beautiful. Okay, so this is way how the golden ratio to be taken to identify the beauty of the face with the name of an calculation. So you can see the second image, the height which should be equal to the distance between the eyes, and the length of the ear should be equal to the length of the nose. So on all these calculations is being related to, once it reaches the value of an golden ratio, then I will tell you that you are beauty actually. So this is the example calculation which has been made it with an Hollywood actors. Okay, in what way the calculation has been made it. So you can see the left hand side, the person available with each and every parts of the face, how much the percentage is being made it in the forehead and eye portion, or it may be in the chin, or it may be in the lips. So consolidatedly, the golden ratio, which is near to the value of 1.618, the percentage is 87.94. And the right hand side, the person is having the beauty of a 90.51 percentage with the near to the value of a golden ratio. So this is where you can able to calculate the face beauty. I will also have some of the demo I will show you now. So that will tell you about just a minute. I will also tell you about in what way the calculation that you can also made it by your own to know about how your face to be near to the golden ratio or not. So you can also use this. So I will also share that particular URL in the link so that you can able to understand. For example, you can see about a human face beauty ratio calculator to be made it. That is top of the head to the chin. So I'm giving some value that is to be in the form of centimeters, and pupil to the nose tip. I'm giving some kind of values to be given over here, and width of nose to be taken some additional values, and width of the head I will take some values, and nose tip to the chin I will take 6, and lips to the chin I will take near to the value, so I will take 5. Then the length of the lips I will take 5, and nose tip I will take 3. Okay, so this is a approximated calculation I've been giving for you. So once I given over here, once I go for calculated, okay, you can see about that the results is been giving over 1.606, that is near to the golden ratio. So when an human face is been having this much of calculation, that is top of the head to chin or top of the head to pupil, and width of the nose, all this calculation has been made it, and you can see the result which is given. Your face shape is closely matched with the golden ratio. Okay, so this is way the calculation is being made with the golden ratio to identify the human face beauty actually. So this is one of the application, the name known as an easycalculation.com. You can go to health golden ratio BT calculator, the link. Okay, I will also share it over in the chat box actually. Okay, so this is also to be one of the important one where you can able to see it over here. Okay, and this is one very important thing, how the golden ratio is related to the websites, because this is one as a technology we should understand. For example, you are seeing every kinds of responsive templates, maybe in the mobile or in the tab or in the system. But how the calculations are made, like the whole content will be taken some part and the sidebar will be taken some part. That calculation is made only on the golden ratio. For example, if you consider the total width of your space that you want to calculate is 960 pixels. Okay, so you can able to do that when you take it that 960 pixels to be taken, and that 960 pixels to be near to the value of a golden ratio, you can divide that particular value 960 divided by 1.618, or the yearly they given as near to the value 62. So when you take it that particular value, you approximately get some value known as 593. So 593 is the value which is being taken as a content that you can spend it for the body content. Again, when the 593 is being divided by some 1.612, then again we'll get the value known as 367. So 367 is the value that you can given for the shorter path. So you can see at the right hand side that photography is the area that it had been something like an 593. On the right hand side, you can see 367. That is a path which will be called it as a shorter path. So this is way how the web design layouts also to be made. So the web design layouts designers also to be calculated in this particular manner, how the golden ratios will be helped to the viewers to see about the web design part to be added. Okay, so that you can see the calculation. For example, you are 1000 pixels available, so you can divide by 1000 pixels by 1.618. You will get some value. That value will be mainly concentrate on the content. Again, whatever the value you get it by dividing by 100 divided by 1.618, that value should be again divided by 1.618. You will get some value. That value will be taken to the sidebar. Okay, not only for this particular one. Okay, so when you go for typography, that is very important. For example, when you are designing the for example, now the final year students are constructing the project documents. In that particular situation, you are identifying in what way the projects are taken, in what way the header will be given, in what way the links to be given, in what way the title should be concentrated. So you can see all this to be taken in the form of design actually. Okay, so let me know about let I give about 2 minutes review about what is typography and about your project document. Okay, so let me review about this particular one. Again, shortly I will join over here. Yeah. So when you talk about the design, especially the project, the document, when you take it about, the guide will tell you the heading should be 20 and the running documents should be 12 points and the subheading should be 16. My question is why it has been 10, 16, 12 and all. So there is something behind the calculation. That is what we call as in golden ratio. I will tell you. Okay. So how the typography is being available in golden ratio. So you can see about here, the layout of the width has been 960 pixels. That is generally the layout is being made at. And one that 960 is being given, how we can able to have the web page layout. So what I want to tell you that 960 divided by 1.618, you will get 9, that is 594. That is the content that you can spend it for your body of the content, and the balance you can give it for the sidebar. Okay, so this is way the layout of the page, that what we call as a responsive template. Most of the time the peoples will download the responsive templates. Okay, so that UX design, or it may be in whatever the designs to be made. So all this to be taken with the name of a golden ratio. Okay, so you can see about this particular on what I just told about how the calculations are made. For example, I'm just telling you that that my heading is actually 20. Okay, so when it has been heading to be 20, you divide 20 by subheadings to be the paragraph, whatever is given is 20 pixels. That particular moment of time, I'm telling that 20 divided by 1.61, you will get 12 pixels. So 12 pixels where you can give it for the running notes. You give it for the running notes. Then 12 will be multiplied by 1.68. You will get the subheadings, which is not called as a paragraph heading, that you can go for 20 pixels. Again, the 20 will be multiplied with 1.618. We get 32 pixels. That what we call as a main header, which what we call as a section title. So this is the protocol which is being followed while you are running in any kind of a projects, especially some kind of protocol is given for you. So your title should be this much of font, your paragraph this much of font. But what is the question? Why these numbers are given? Why these numbers can't be varied? It may be 40 or it may be. So there is some kind of visual contact should be made between the system as well as you. So that to be made, and your values and whatever the paragraph that you written, that should be focal in the proper way. If it is to be done, then this kind of calculation is being made. So you can see that particular one, that 32 divided by 1.618, you will get 20. That what we get as in subheading. Again, when 20 divided by 1.618, you will get 12 pixels. When I go in the reverse process, 12 into 1.618, you will get 20 pixels, that you can give it for the subtitle. Again, 20 into 1.618 will get, see, the value will be approximated. It may be like 32.618, whether you can take it as 32 or 33, but the values will be. So now you can understand how specifically we are applying for the golden ratio. Only for the three things actually. It should be legible. That is very important. When you are constructing the golden ratio, that the value should be legible. At the same time, it should be readable. So if this is to be attained in the document, especially when you are designing the document, when you are constructing the project, or when you are writing a project document, okay, why the values are given like that actually? So these values is not only for that project document. Even if you are constructing the web design, That particular moment of time, I'm telling that H1, H2, H3, something like an header 1, header 2. That header 1 calculation is also will be made at the background of the header 1. Also, the golden ratio is available. Can anyone tell what is the value of an H1 as in the HTML? We know that even any kind of a document or any kind of a text which is given in H1 tag, it will be something bigger with the normal text. But my question, what is the font size? There is no answer for that. But I will tell you the answer. The answer is golden ratio. Okay, if you take the what is the running content, that content should be multiply and so on, starting from H1 to H6 or starting from H6 to H1. So that particular moment of time, you'll get the actual calculation. What is the font size of an H1? What is the font size of an H2? Especially when you are designing the web page layout. So now you can understand how much crucially the golden ratio has been important. It's not a normal topic that what you can see it like an architecture or plans, whatever it may be, but see the calculation that is being behind over here, that is related to the technology, especially in the web designing concept. It's been related to the web layout, not only for the web layout, the content whatever you are poured inside the web layout, that is also the calculation which is being made with the name of a typography, that the section title, paragraph, and the sub paragraphs, whatever you can visualize over here. So now you can understand why the topics, especially when you are constructing a paragraph, why it is 32 pixels, why it is 20 pixels, and why it is 12 pixels. What is the ratio or what is the relationship between the 12 and 20 and 32? I think this particular slide will give you the clean idea actually. Okay, and this is what the demo, already I given some kind of demo for you, and some demos I will tell you related to the golden number. Just a minute. How the formation is being made. For example, just a minute. I think everyone know about pineapple actually. So the pineapple is also the good example of a golden ratio. Okay, so when I talk about the pineapple, that the numbers, that what the formation of the grids which has been made in the pineapple. Okay, in what angle if you are taking that values. Okay, for example, that when you take about the circle, or when you take about the any kind of an pentagons, or it may be anything, we want to calculate in the form of 360 degree. So I will give you one calculation in what way the formation is being made in the pineapple. Okay, for example, we know about it may be a circle, or it may be in any kind of an degree oriented structure, that is 360 degree. So when I divide the 360 divide by the magic number 1.618, okay, you will get 22 222.4 degree. So 360 will be taken in one part. So already we know the formula, that is a by b can also be called as an a plus b by a. So in that situation, what is the balance available? When I calculated, I will also calculate 137.54. That will be near to the calculation of 360. Yeah, now it has been coming over 360. So there is a two possibility that the pineapple will have the formation that what you are visually seeing over in the pineapple. If that formation should be made, then the angle, the degree that should be constructed with the value known as 137.5 degree, or it should be 222.4 degree. That I will show you the demo now. So you can see it over at the over here. Okay, you can see it over here. That is a formation. So you can see the calculation which I've been made over is 137.5. So when the angle is 137.5 only, the formation is being made like this, which is what the name to be called as an pilotaxis spirals, which is been at the background of the calculation to be as an pineapple, the fruit. So whether you can go for 137.5 angle, that is degree, or you can go for 222.4 angle, we'll get the same kind of information which is being made. Okay, and other things and all, number of discs that you can see in pineapple, you can see number of discs that you can able to see it over as a layer, and as well as the radius of disc that you can able to point out. That depends upon that. But when this formation is being made, when you can see this formation, when in the sense, for example, when I can increase the radius, or I can able to minimize the number of discs, that is not an issue actually. But only thing is how this formation nature will not be changed. Maybe that the number of discs and that will be changed, but you can see it over here. But whenever I'm changing the number of disc and the radius of disc also, the nature of the pineapple, the formation is not being changed. Why in the sense? Because my angle is 137.5. I will tell you how this calculation is being made, because the total the angle will be taken into 360 degree, which is divided by the magic number of a golden ratio 1.618. then we get a two ratios. That's what we call as a 222.4 some values, and as well as 137.5 some values. So when you take it these two values, then the formation is being made like this. Okay, so now you can understand what is the beauty related to the golden ratio and how the formation has been made. Once if you do one thing, just I've been removing the value from 137.5 to some other value, then the formation you will not get like this. The formation will be different. Okay, maybe you can see it over now. When I been take it, so you can see now when I make it to 124.8 degree, you can see this is not the formation of a pineapple. This has been some other formation. So you can see how the golden ratios has been inbuilt with our life with the name of an 1.618. That is why I told us a magic number. Actually, I will also share this particular link so that you can able to know, and whenever you are free, you also identify in what way we can also use this particular link. This is a one way where I can able to tell you about in what way the demonstration of the particular slides, and now you can able to understand how the golden ratio has been adopted not only in the general way that the human life, it is also be available in the name of a web layout, and even the project document or the document once you constructed, how why the size of the heading should be 32 pixels, why the size of the subheadings to be 20 pixels, how the running lines are 12 pixels. So the background is only one name I will give you. The name is magic number golden ratio. Okay, so thank you for giving this opportunity, and I take this session to the next person who is going to give an topic with the name of an Node.js, who is having a wide knowledge in the Spring Boot, because recently he has studied about the Spring Boot. So I just now welcome Miss Saraswati to take over the session on Node.js. And before that, I thanks all the students to go through the document related to the golden ratio, even for the project area. Once you are designing like a logo, or once you are designing like any architecturals, you can take some of the basic architecture, and you can able to analyze how, in what way the architecture is being close to the golden ratio. So you can also take this kind of an analysis by using a PyMatrix 1.618 Pro versions, and you can do it in the future actually. Okay, so thank you for giving this opportunity, and for any more views or the visits to be related to that, you can go for arunai.org/tim. So now I call upon Ms. Saraswati to take over the session.
Okay, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here today. It's my immense pleasure to welcome you all for this STEM events 12.0. 12.0. First of all, I would like to thank our HOD, Dr. Jyotish Kumar sir, for organizing these kinds of events, New Relief, pandemic situation. It is really helpful for students, those who are interested for e-learnings. Today's section, we'll see about the topic is Node.js. The concept of Node.js is a platform built on Chrome's JavaScript runtime for easily building for fast and scalable network application actually. Then Node.js was event driven and not blocking input-output models for lightweight and efficient. Perfect for the data-intensive real-time applications that run access the distributed device actually. Now, Node.js also provide a rich library for various JavaScripts modules, which simplify the development of web applications using Node.js to great extents. So, we'll get started, guys. Objective of Node.js. What is Node.js? History of Node.js. Why Node.js? How does it works? We see one by one. What is Node.js? Node.js is an open source cross-platform behind the JavaScript in runtime environments that runs on version 8 engines and executed the JavaScript code outside the web browser. Then Node.js is a runtime environment that allows the software developers to launch the both front-end and back-end of web apps using the JavaScript actually. Although the JavaScript underpins all the process of app assembling as a back-end development, and that is Node.js differ from the front-end environments too. Node.js uses for JavaScript on the server. Next, history of Node.js. Believe it's or not, Node.js is only 11 years of old. Now, in comparisons of JavaScript, in 24 years of old. Then, Web is a 31 years of old. 11 years old is a very long time in each, but is Node.js is seen to have been around the forever. Node.js was written initially by Ryan Dahl in 2019, about 13 years after the introductions of the first server-side JavaScript environments, Netscape and Livewire ProWeb. In 2019, Ryan Dahl wrote the Node.js. At first, Node.js supported only Mac OS and Linux. Part of the business model of Netscape was Sil Web Service, which including the environments called Netscape Livewire. It is also create a dynamic pages using a server-side JavaScript. Now, it is introduced a lot of innovations, thinking and approaches for the JavaScript server-side developments. History of Node.js. Now, web frames works were developed by the Node.js open source community to accelerate the development of applications, the year of developments, and the journey so far. 2019, the beginning of Node.js and npm means is a Node package of manager was created. 2010, the beginning of Express and the beginning of Chocket.io. 2011, versions 1.0 of npm was created and released. 2012, adoptions of continuous and growing the rapidly. And 2013 is a blocking of platform for use Node.js. The beginning of first Ghost was created. And 2014, in io.js became a major fork of Node.js. The big force with the purpose of introducing and support the moving faster. And 2015, the Node.js foundations behind the npm introduces provide the modules. And 2016, the left pad in the incident and the beginning of the Node.js. And then 2017, Node Package Manager focus more one of the year of the journey for the beginning of the Node.js 10. 2019, the beginning of Node.js 12 to 13. 2020, the beginning of the Node 14 to 15. 2020, finally, the beginning of Node.js 16. And then, why Node.js? Actually, Node.js is an open source server-side script which is run on top of the Google open source scripting engine version 8. Node.js is the greatest tool for building cross-platform applications which run easily on any webs. According to the Node.js survey on users, 43% of Node.js programmers claim to the user Node.js for enterprising the app. Now, it's a light and scalable and open source languages platform, which makes it very easy to build apps even at the enterprise levels also. The next use case of Node.js. Node.js was going to talk about the few use cases examples that use the revolutionary technology. First one, data streaming, then server-side proxy, biodata and analytics, wireless connectivity, system monitoring database, real-time data, queue and input-output, chatbots, web scraping and automations, REST API. Next, Node.js use cases. Where and how should we use the Node.js? The use case 1, data streaming. There are two sides of Node.js use cases, the problem and solutions. First of all, use case 1, data streaming. The problem of streaming the data web require the heavy processing. The solution side of Node.js streams make a data streaming easier than ever. And use case 2, server-side proxy. The problem of third-party proxy can cause the trouble in building complex of web apps. The solution side of Node.js makes it easier to build a proxy server. Use case of 3, big data and analytics. The problem side of dealing with the large data in your browsing and troublesome. The solutions of Node.js backend processing makes the data processing easier. Use case 4, wireless connectivity. The problem of bandwidth consumption and bidirectionally signaling. The solution side of Node.js server ensure the data connectivity without any request blockage. Use case 5, system monitoring and data board. The problem side of pushing the real-time data at scale can be inconvenience. The solution side of pushing the data in real time with a Node.js is easy. And then use case 6, real-time data. This problem side of scalability bothness in the real-time data is very common. The solution side of Node.js make a real-time data a boom of web apps. The use case of 7, queue input outputs. The problem side of an app's database can be crashed with the huge data loads. The solution side of the asynchronous nature of Node.js makes it capable of handling huge data loads. The use case of 8, chatbots. The problem side of for business investment in customer service calls is costly. The solution side of chatbots can offer better the customer service experience at the lower cost. Use case of 9, web scraping and automations. The problem side of manual data extractions is a cumbersome process. The solution side of data scraping with the Node.js is a cheaper alternative. And use case of 10, REST API. The problem side of SOAP makes API integrations easier. The solution side of REST API with the Node.js speed up the API integration process. Then next, how does it works? Node.js is a JavaScript runtime environment which is based on Google version 8 engines. That is, with the help of Node.js, we can run the JavaScript outside the browser. Then other things that you may or not may have the read about Node.js is that single-threaded based on event-driven architecture and not blocking the based on input-output models. The Node.js is the single-threaded and based on event-driven architecture and non-blocking the based on input-output model. There are, first of all, Node.js architecture. I explained that. Node.js is the made of Chrome version 8 engine, which is written in C++ and Liboo, which is the multi-platform C library. That provides the support for asynchronous input-output based on events and loops and thread loops. Next, Node.js applications. So now that we have learned about the Node.js architecture, it's time to learn how the Node.js applications run, and this part of the including the concept. The Node.js being a single-threaded and is non-blocking the nature as well as. So first of all, what is thread? A thread is a simple terms is basically a set of programming instructions that can be run independently in a computer's processor, and then very process that we want to run as the own threaded to run the programming instructions. Actually, the process have the more than one thread. Then third one is the event loop. Now event loop is a what allow the Node.js applications to run the non-blocking asynchronous input-output based operations. That is, all the asynchronous code is based on managed and executing within the event loops. And before that, we have to our synchronizations code, which in this case known as top level codes. Then next, how does it works? Even loop does not follow the sequence of the run at the callbacks. We will see one by one. Experience timeout callbacks. Second, input output polling. Third one's set immediate. Fourth one, close callbacks. The first phase is the experience timeouts callbacks, which is our callback functions for the set timeout and functions etc. The second phase is the callbacks from input output polling, like a U1 of reading and file or any HTTP request. The third phase is the callbacks from the set immediate functions, which are callbacks functions that is uses for executed the just after the input output pollings. And the last is close callbacks, which is emitted from events like the closing of the web servers, etc. Then next, Visual Studio Code instructions. Visual Studio Code is a source code editor that can be used for the variety of programming language, including Java, JavaScript, Go, Node.js, Python, and C++, etc. Now it is based on the Electron frameworks, which is used the development of Node.js web applications that's run on the blank layout engines. And the features of the Visual Studio Code is a debugging, including GitHub supports and syntax highlights, extends, plug-in supports. Why Visual Studio Codes? It combines the simplicity of source code editor with the powerful developer tools like intelligence code completion and debugging. That means less time fielding your environments and more time executing your ideas. And the next, why did we build the Visual Studio Codes? Available for Mac OS, Linux, and Windows. Edit, build, and debug with ease. Robust and extension architecture and ready set code. Let's see the setting of Visual Studio Code. It's a small download for the installations and the matter of minutes in given the code try. Visual Studio Code lightweighting and so should run the most available hardware and platform versions. You can review the system requirements to check if your computer configuration is supported actually. Visual Studio Code support the portable mode installations. Check for the updates by running help. Check for the updates as Linux or Windows. Running the code of check for the updates Mac OS. On Linux and Windows, choose the help of the aborts. On Mac OS, use the code of about Visual Code. Next, build the Node.js apps with the Visual Studio Code. Node.js is a platform for building faster and scalable server application using JavaScript. Node.js is a runtime and NPM is the package manager for Node.js modules. Now Visual Studio Code is a support for the JavaScript and TypeScript languages out of the box, as well as the Node.js debugging. However, to run the Node.js applications, you will need to install the Node.js runtime on your machine. Then, how organizations use the Node.js. Here, JavaScript is also popular quite in a few major business enterprises as well accurate with the software. Now, recently, 5 companies that use the Node.js. Node.js is the 2021 successfully. Companies that use the Node.js know that JavaScript is to the go to the language for building dynamic websites. But they want to take their dedications to JavaScript just a step further by the utilization the language. Not only for the front end development, but is back end development too actually. Node.js is a platform many skilled web developers as a using today to have power back-end development while still using the same triad and true languages JavaScript. In fact, Node.js is so popular, quite few major business enterprises as well as accurate the software with the companies Node.js, including the following. LinkedIn is the social network for professional connections. And Netflix, Uber, Tello, PayPal, NASA, and eBay. Medium, Walmart, Mozilla, and GoDaddy. For these companies using the Node.js, they we picked the software tools as their preferred runtime environments for these JavaScript developers. Next, practical sections. Let's we see the demo. First of all, auto installations of Node.js and Visual Codes. This is a type of Node.js. Node.js. The part of the downloads, you download the click the buttons of window installer. I'm already installed the Node.js apps for this window. Download the Visual Code Studios. In Windows 10, install the apps. These directions of download links. You click it on the software download the in your Windows. Let's go to the demo. First of all, go to the file to create a folder of node node projects. My all node projects to create the folder. First tab. Click on it. After that, going for the Visual Studio Code. and create a new file. Click on it, my all my all node projects, and after this, click the folder and select the folder of the Visual Studio Code. I mean, okay. Enter the CD. After this, and link the paste the link of the folder. Enter it and note initiate. Note init. Enter this. Note npm init. Now after this, npm npm init. You enter it, and after this, enter The package name is first app, versions 1.0.0, descriptions and enter point. Text comments for example for STEM events. STEM events. And enter it. And enter author is, for examples, Muhammad Ali. And enter it. Create the license ISC and enter it. It's okay as. After this, for to create the open folders. After this first step, to select the folder, this Visual Studio Code, to create a package. After this, to create the applications of index.js. Sorry, JS. Console dot log, for example, and save all the files. To enter the terminals of index.js. To begin the node after this index.js. To welcome the output of the welcome to all. And actually the separate nodes of index.js actually show the output of the screen. Sorry, node index. Click on it and show the output of the Visual Studio Code. And after this node 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 index.js will show the output of the screen in Visual Studio Code. It's Node.js advantages is a scalability, single programming language, and freedom to develop cross-platform app and high performance and cross-platform developments. And then is it is a simple to learn and large community supports, and then web app development of speed and improved of app in response time, and catching the and then node is a extensibility. At last but the not least, I want to thank you for staff and faculties in my friends. Without your continuous supports, we would never able to the put on my events like this. So thank you.
Thank you, sir, Saraswati, for your wonderful presentation. I think slow and steady win the race. I think you've done that great job by taking about how the Node.js, and the topic is also very recent topics that especially needed in the background of an web development. So thanks for your presentation. And request is you can share your presentation in the group so that I can share to all the students actually, because some students are personally giving a comments that we need the presentation of Node.js actually. So
Okay, sir.
uh, you can share your presentation to my WhatsApp actually, so that I can give them to all the students. And especially some students in the third year, they are really interested to be at the background of the STEM program. And I appreciate the level of involvement that you taken for the presentation, which give the neat information related about the Node JS, starting from the origin to the a simple level of development. So thanks for your involvement, and we will shortly meet on STEM 13.0 in the next month. And we have good response from the student side, especially while taking over it. But anyway, we want to cross all the levels actually, uh, that we will do further, and also make the faculties to also involved with the different kinds of topics with related to the technology, or in the name of an engineering, or in the name of general aspects to talk about in this platform, because this platform is our platform. That's what I want to conclude, because this platform will give you the name of the platform which is given for the STEM program, which known as a Center for Skill Development, especially for the faculties and students, how to improve their communication skills as well as the technological aspects to meet the present commitments related to the technology, the different kinds of name which we learning with the different kinds of blogs or different kinds of forums are available. But anyway, before going to that involvement, we need the basic level of platform to be completed over here. And shortly we have a guest to be concluded in one or two sessions in the forthcoming to know about what are the different kinds of topics that we have been starting from the 1.0 to till now. So that will be concluded shortly in the next or the few sessions actually. So thank you students for your presentation, for your wonderful presence over here. And students, those who are not also presented, we can share over the presentation while we put it in our channel actually. Thanks for the students to be join over here. Thank you all for gathering for the STEM 12.0. Shortly, we will meet on the next session. Thank you, students, and thank you, faculties. Thank you.